Hi guys. Right, so quite a weekend ahead of us. The moon is going to be in Pisces, on her way there now, but she's in Aquarius. This is Friday the 21st of February 2020, and this weekend is all about the new moon, which is coming in on Sunday the 23rd, and that's going to be in Pisces. So we're coming to the end of Aquarius now. That's still kind of an Aquarius influence pretty well all day. People more interested in knowledge, communicating with like-minded people, freedom, independence can become an issue under an Aquarius moon. You know, people really do want to be individual and bring that out, and that actually works with the communicating with people thing, because actually that way you've got more to bring to the table. You know, if you're really kind of solid in yourself, anything that takes a lot of discipline and that kind of thing is going to be quite boring at the moment, though, because you know people are expansive, and goodness knows it's a dull enough world, isn't it, if we don't start looking outside ourselves a bit. So right now the moon 4.7% full, on her way down to nothing, and when that happens, that's going to be Sunday the 23rd, 15:32, 3:30 in the UK afternoon, which is actually going to be 7:30 a.m. On the Pacific West side of the States and Canada. On the east side, 10:32 a.m. So that's where the moon is headed. The lunar energy is really, really waning down at the moment, and the positive thing about that really is that it makes you kind of closer to your own heart, you know, and closer to what is at the core of your own being, even though it's an expansive time of the mind. Again, it's quite positive because you are coming from a position where you are yourself, where you're being yourself, and the Aquarius influence really, really supports that. Also today, Sun sextile, is it? No, let me just, oh dear me, see, I haven't quite refreshed the page, which I should have done. Anyway, okay, I have done now. Sun sextile Uranus, innovation, quick thinking, and people are, generally speaking, likely to be willing to accept new, different conditions, things changing, and that is really positive with Pisces on the way in, because there's a lot of energy for change that comes with Pisces. Moon herself is sextile Venus, so good feelings, good intentions, really nice with social interactions, that kind of thing. And the divine feminine is quite powerful in the chart today because of that. So anything esoteric is likely to have a fair bit of energy behind it. Mercury sextile Mars, quick reactions, things changing quickly, people making decisions quite quickly and actually being decisive. And that way finding solutions to problems, so that is really quite positive. Anyway, we are headed towards that full moon in Pisces. There's quite a long void, of course. Let me just look at that. It's actually 8:08 p.m. Pacific, 11:08 p.m. Eastern. The moon goes void, of course, and enters Pisces, because the void, of course, is when she's not quite, well, she's out of Aries. She's very much out of Aries when she comes out of Aquarius, and isn't really in Aquarius, but isn't really in Pisces yet. And there isn't a lot we can say about a void of course period. Anything can happen. It's likely to be quite low-key during the void of course, and it's not a great time to do anything that attracts any new action. So that void of course, 8:08 p.m. Pacific tonight on Friday the 21st, 11:08 p.m. Eastern, and so actually 4:08 a.m. Saturday here in the UK, that void of course starts, so we'll be in bed then, we don't need to worry too much about it. And the moon is actually going to enter Pisces then 10:37 p.m. Saturday, so it is really quite a long void of course, and that's Pacific. Eastern, it's going to be 1:37 a.m. here in UK, 6:37 a.m. when the moon enters Pisces on Sunday, so it really is a Sunday thing here in UK, and so there's a lot of voidness, you know, there's a lot of it's not a bad time. You can get things done. You can really get things done without interference. That's the great thing about it. There aren't likely to be any sudden changes. And if anyone's trying to drive you to kind of do anything or change anything in a hurry, I would just put it off, because it's a void moon. You know what I mean? Don't want any new action at that time, because it's not likely to lead anywhere. Kind of business is going to be shaky. No one's going to win. No one's going to lose. It's just, you know, it's a void, of course. And void is a word that really well describes it. So then, right, Moon in Pisces is actually going to be happening 1:37 a.m. Sunday, Eastern, having first started late on Saturday night on the Pacific coast, and then 6:37 a.m. in UK, and the new moon actually then comes in 7:32 a.m. Pacific on Sunday, 10:32 a.m. Eastern. So that is going to be 3:32 in the UK afternoon. We're going to have that new moon in Pisces, and then, you know, things are at a lull in nature, generally speaking, you know, and there isn't still not a great deal of energy behind the moon. But a new moon it's a beginning. It's a time when kind of spiritually and esoterically things are launching themselves. It's best for us not to launch any kind of new big business plans we have or anything until 2 or 3 days after the new moon. But you know, the Pisces influence comes in, and that is a pretty nice thing. Pisces people, kind of generous people, quite amiable, quite easy to get on with usually, and they tend to have a positive nature and a compassionate side as well. They can be very kind, and they're usually well tuned into everything around them. Socially popular people. That's Pisces people. The Pisces moon is very much along those lines, you know, and it's water sign energy. There's high awareness of other people's emotions and a lot of imagination. Could just get a little bit too dreamy for anyone's tastes, really, you know, because we have to keep it real all the time, and it is a very dreamy type of transit with Pisces. Nevertheless, there's a lot of energy behind it. So on Sunday then, that new moon in Pisces, it's a great time to commit to your personal goals, you know, express those energies, because the sign of Pisces is a very positive sign. So express those energies in a positive way. It's likely to go quite well. It's good to take a leap of faith if you need to, and accepting imperfections. Now, it's a way of seeing things, really. If you can see the imperfections as a different kind of actual perfection in themselves, that's going to be a great thing. That's going to be deeply within the imagination, and it's going to take some visualization. But where things are imperfect, we've really got to understand that that is the big plan of the universe, you know, and that really everything actually is as it should be. And if things seem imperfect to us, it's best to try and find a sense of perfection within that. With my YouTube channel here, you may have noticed I don't kind of get tens of thousands of views or anything. I tend to get kind of 20, 30 views quite a lot of the time. And I admit I let that bother me sometimes, and I try and kind of speed things up and spark things up. But actually it brings me a lot of reading work comes in. Where I share it on Facebook, I get quite a lot of business from there as well. If you would like, by the way, a psychic reading or even some astrology doing, give me a shout, 35and83@gmail.com. That is 35and83@gmail.com, and I'll get back to you. A small fee may be involved, but I've got to pay my bills somehow, you know. And so even though it's kind of a very small channel, I'm able to give more attention to individual people. I'm able to give more kind of energy into the readings and stuff that I do, because there aren't that many people kind of soaking up the energy. I watch a lot of YouTube, and I was watching a thing last night, Storage Hunters Vegas, and I wouldn't watch it if I were you. I can't help saying the name of it, but it's not meant as an advert. Because it's rubbish, you know. They buy an old storage unit, and they find the most amazing things. The one I looked at last night, there was a brand new Hummer vehicle in there, well, several years old, but it looked as if it had never been driven, and it was full of really high-end TVs. I watched another one of theirs, and the place was just stuffed with furniture, and when they opened the drawers in the furniture, the drawers were stuffed with cash, you know, and like they found solid gold in another one or something. It's rubbish, it's not actually true, but that's what kind of gets the views. That's not the business I'm in. I'm in the business of being genuine, and in some ways I'm quite proud of having a small channel, and that's me accepting the imperfections of the moment, and the imperfections of life generally. I had a massive stroke when I was in my 20s, and I've discovered discovered a great deal about myself, and I've seen and found a lot of kindness in other people through that. People who at the time felt sorry for me because I couldn't walk or talk or anything. And sometimes, I'd be going to ask someone for help, and a friend would say, "Oh, don't ask him, or don't ask her. He or she is, they're real miserable. I don't want to help anyone." But those people would actually help me because I was at such a disadvantage, and that's given me a much more positive view of other people than most of us will ever have. So accept the imperfections, see the positive side of it. It's not a crazy thing to do, it's a realistic thing to do. It fits in with our world, and that way, my friends, you will find out great things about yourselves. You really will. Anyway, that's going to be sort of taking a bit of a leap of faith, accepting things that way, is it not? But a leap of faith is a good thing to take at a new moon, actually, because it's a beginning of things and it really sets things off positively. On the new moon also, it's a good time to put time aside and make time in your life for meditation and kind of with a general attitude of rejuvenating things, maybe sharing dreams between people. It's a good time for people to come together. It's a good chance to make important changes in all of our lives. That's the thing about it, really, that matters. It's a creative new moon, this one. It's very forward-looking, harmonious aspects to Mars, the north and south node of the moon as well, and Uranus. Now the north node is looking forward, the south node is looking back. Both have a lot of positivity about them. Looking forward is great, it's where it's at, that's what really matters. Why would we look back? Well, sometimes we want to look back in gratitude because the experiences we've had in the past, even though they may no longer serve us, they're all part of like a platform that we stand on as people. They're part of who we are, and there'll always be something positive in there, even if negative things were happening. So, North Node and South Node, they go together, they work together in so many ways, and it's really harmonious with those on this new moon. This is all happening in 4 degrees and 29 minutes of Pisces, so it's going to be affecting people born with personal planets and points at kind of 0 to 8 degrees of any of the mutable signs. That's Gemini, that's Virgo, that's Sagittarius, and of course Pisces. Those are the people who are going to feel the effects most significantly, but incredibly positive. 10:32 a.m. Eastern on Sunday, so 3:32 in the afternoon here in UK. New moon in Pisces, it's fantastic, really. It's just in terms of things being too I'm sorry, just a tick, I've just done something really stupid here. Let's just cancel that and minimise that so I can see what I'm doing. Right, I've sort of forgot what I was talking about there, but it is incredibly positive. And that's what I was saying. It's a new moon. There isn't that much energy behind the actual new moon moment in terms of lunar energy, but there's a great deal of energy going on in our lives, and if we just live with that and work with that for 2 or 3 days until we get into maybe when the moon's kind of 5-6% full, basically when it's visible in the sky, that's the thing, then we will have a great deal of energy behind us as we launch our new project, as we launch our new selves. The new moon in Pisces is a time of self-discovery, big stars. So hope you guys enjoyed discovering yourselves. I hope you've enjoyed this video today. 35and83@gmail.com for a reading. I will be along later. I'm hoping to post a tarot video this afternoon, which is going to be, let me see, might as well do Pisces actually. That would be a good thing to do today. So yeah, tarot for the sign of Pisces coming up later today if YouTube will upload it. And that's another question, if you wanted to watch all the videos that have been uploaded to YouTube in the last 24 hours, it would take you 82 years. So maybe 83 years by now. It's always growing. So who knows, but I'm going to try and get things uploaded. I'm going to try and post that Pisces reading this afternoon. Thanks everyone for your support. I want to thank you for watching this video. I really appreciate everyone who tunes in. Leave me a comment, guys, helps me zero in to who I'm doing these readings for, which makes a big difference, especially with a great big YouTube. We can do things in a rather more personal way here on the Twig Brother channel. Have a fantastic Friday the 21st. Have a fantastic new moon weekend, friends. It is a time of lull, it is a time of not much energy, but it's really forward thinking, it's really positive, and it's going to be great for the soul. Okay, I'll see you again very soon. Peace.